Hello, let me see. How are you? Happy Chinese New Year, by the way, for those who are celebrating, and happy holidays for those who lives in countries that celebrates the Chinese New Year. Well, this is still actually we're still at this is still Chinese New Year, but I have nothing much to do, so I might as well go live and answer some questions and let's chat a little bit about Facebook advertising. So yeah. Now, if this is the first time you see me, welcome to my channel. My name is Jason from Malaysia. I'm a Facebook ads optimization strategist. And I do this every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. So all you need to do is if you have any Facebook ads related questions, okay. First thing first, please visit my YouTube channel because I've actually posted over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel. Chances are I probably have answered something, a question that is related to the challenges that you're having right now in one way or another. So if you can find an answer, right away, you can actually just get over it and do whatever and move on to do whatever you need to do. Otherwise, if you cannot find an answer on anything on my YouTube videos, on my YouTube channel, all you need to do is just post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. All right, it's very simple. So, that's how I actually would work with you to answer your question. So all you need to do is just to come back on the following Sunday on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, and I'll be answering your questions live like this. I do not reply to your comment. I would not reply to your comment because I don't believe written communication is the best way to communicate and to discuss about Facebook advertising because this is very technical. I'll prefer to talk to you like this. So just come back on the following Sunday to listen to my answer. Very simple. But if you can join me live like this every Sunday night, whenever you are free, you can just come over and ask your questions right away, and I'll be answering your questions, live like this. This is how I interact with my community. Very straightforward and simple. And I've been doing this for about 3 years now, and I really love doing this thing. So it's something that I'm committed to do. So yep, just post your question. Now, let me bring this up. I'm just going to roll into it. Okay, so a quick introduction about Ask Jason Anything just now. And just in case if you have something that you require one-on-one discussion, because some questions may be a little bit more PNC that you don't want to discuss in the public, or you have something that is quite urgent that you don't want to wait until next week to talk to me, then you can actually choose to scan this QR code. This will bring you to my Fiverr gig, and this is where you can actually buy me a dinner and you can book a one-on-one discussion with me for 30 minutes or more on via Zoom. Okay, so this is where you can share your screen. I can actually walk through any questions you have, or even to analyze your campaign to give you some pointers about what you can do to take it to the next level or anything like that. We can discuss about strategy, anything you want within this 30-minute discussion or more. So just scan this QR code, buy me a dinner, then we can actually schedule a quick one. Now, for those who are new to Facebook advertising, and if you want to learn, Facebook advertising techniques in a very structured way, I would recommend my Facebook Ads Masterclass. Now, this is a 2.5 hour Facebook Ads training, a recorded training anyway. So, I discuss 5 main things in the training itself, 2.5 hours. First, I discuss my way of strategizing Facebook ads. Basically, you can't just run ads blindly right now because in this era, audiences are very different right now. They are very advanced and they really know advertising. They kind of like have been, they've been consuming ads for a long time. They are very demanding when it comes to advertising. So you really need to build a strategy to really maximize the outcome with every dollar you spend on Facebook advertising. So I will guide you. I will share with you first my framework, how I strategize Facebook ads, what are the techniques I use and all that. And I would actually walk you through on the setup as well. I do not just tell you that, oh, you need to actually do this inclusion, exclusion, but instead of just telling you, I would actually demonstrate and show you how it's done. Okay, so it's very straightforward. And on top of that, I would also talk about the audience targeting techniques that I use in order to find the right people that are more interested in your business and everything. So audience targeting and objective selection, that's another thing that a lot of people kind of find it confusing because although now we only have 6 objectives, but there are still fine lines between each and every one of them. And how can you make the right decision to choose the right objective for your business? So that's another thing that we'll be discussing in the training itself. And I also will talk about my, like latest experience, because I work with clients from all around the world in terms of guiding them to optimize their Facebook ads campaign. So I learned firsthand to identify what kind of ads and creative, as in like what kind of design direction or what kind of copywriting direction that works well for my clients. And I would actually share with you the latest trend in terms of what's working and what's not in terms of design and copywriting. And last but not least, I would also share with you my way of analyzing Facebook ads, as in like how do we make sense of the metrics? Because in my opinion, start running ads is the easiest thing to do. Anybody with a Facebook account, you can actually start a Facebook ads manager and you can start running ads, because that's what Facebook wants from you anyway. They want you to spend money with them. But then again, the next big challenge that a lot of Facebook advertisers face is how do we make sense of the data? Like, how do we know if the campaign is working or not? How do we know if the creative is working? Is it the audience that is stopping us from getting better results and all that? So analytics is actually the next important thing. So I also cover that in my Facebook Ads Masterclass. So 5 main elements in the training itself. And this is, like evergreen training, as in like, you always get the latest version of it. So every 3 to 6 months, I'll do a refresh. There could be new features, there could be new updates and stuff like that. So you just need to come back to the same link that you received after purchasing the course, and you always get the latest version. So very straightforward. Okay, so just come over. If you really want to learn the structured way, this is the best place to start. So scan this QR code and you can actually start learning right away and start running ads on your own. Okay, now I'm going to go straight to the questions right away. So the first question is coming from Cool. Okay, Cool Deep. Okay, anyway, so the question is about your instant form leads are coming in as fake. All of them are fake. Now, this is the problem when it comes to Facebook lead gen campaign. If you're using Facebook lead form, you always have this issue of, like, I wouldn't say that all of them are fake, but there will be a big chance of them. The leads are not really of high quality. That's the problem that we are facing right now. So how do we avoid this thing now? First thing first, you need to really understand Facebook lead form is a mechanism that helps Facebook advertisers capture information of the audience in the quickest way. Meaning, when you're creating the lead form, a lot of things are pre-filled, right? The name, the phone number, the email addresses, and all that. These are the information that you can actually make it pre-filled. So if you do not add any additional questions, it is just a couple of clicks, people can actually just give away their information. And that could be something that can be done mistakenly or accidentally. So the rule of thumb of reducing fake leads, the first thing we would always do is we would try to increase the number of questions. As in, like, do not just get phone number, email address, and and the name. Try to ask something that is relevant to your business. Like, for example, like anything that is related. Like, for example, when we do developers, when we do real estate campaign, we will always ask, are you looking to buy this for your own use or investment purpose? And what is the price range of the product or the property that you're looking for? These are the questions that you can ask to pre-qualify or to further qualify your audience before they come in. So when you have additional questions, it's a lot harder for them to really just accidentally press the thing and come in. So that's the thing. Now, on top of that, do not just do the pre-fill or drop-down questions. If you can actually ask another question that requires them to fill in something. As in, like, can you tell us more about your need when you're buying a property? So just give them a box or a blank box for them to key in. So these are things that we can actually do to stop these people from accidentally coming in. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the second thing we always need to bear in mind when we are running lead gen ads on Facebook is, usually when you're running ads on Facebook, usually when you're doing lead gen ads, especially if you're using the lead form, these people requires quite an instant reply from you. So the next thing we always recommend our clients to do is try to set up simple automation. As in, like, automation means, like, for example, once a person sign up as a lead, you can actually use Zapier integration or anything that is really, similar to that actually sends either that we can route them to an email service provider that sends them email right away, or we can even integrate some software that can actually send out WhatsApp or SMS right away. That would actually help your audience to get instant reply from you if there's anything they can actually start talking to you right away. So the automation is the key, okay? Because a lot of these issues when when I talk to audiences or my clients who actually run lead gen ads, a lot of time they respond to the leads slow, as in like, they probably do it once a week. So when you have this kind of situation, it's totally normal to get answers like, I forgot, when did I submit my info to you? Or you're a spam, how can you actually get my number? Oh, I did not do this. This actually is why a lot of time when you talk to your lead, when you respond, when you call them and contact them, they always come and say that, I did not do this, because they forgot. We are so forgetful on social media, remember? So automation, instant reply if you can, because the rule of thumb is you need to actually get back to your audience within 4 hours. That's the best time. But if you can't do it, then at least we do it within 24 hours. That will help you reduce the, so-called, like those awkward response that says, I did not do this. How do you get my number and stuff like that, right? So that's the second thing. And on top of that, we always understand when we are running lead form campaign, the costs are usually cheaper. So we always have a benchmark where we always expect there's only like about 20 to 30% of the leads are actionable, meaning 70 to 80% of these people are probably not ready or clicking accidentally and all that. But of course, if you do the first two things, we are hoping to reduce the ratio further. But usually that's the problem. So if, let's say, for example, if you compare to your website, like you probably on website, you get cost per lead is about like $50. But when you're doing lead gen on Facebook, the cost per lead is about $5. So if you actually plus minus, right, if you take 20% of them actionable, cost per lead is still actually cheaper than, the cost per lead when you're doing it on the website. So that's something that we kind of like expect. And as long as it's within the budget that we are comfortable with, that we actually understand. Because another thing that a lot of lead gen businesses do not do is when they are running lead gen ads, they always only handle the new leads, but they don't really pay attention on nurturing the old leads. Because here's the thing, especially if you do businesses like insurance, real estate, property, and all that, these people come in, they may not be ready right now, but doesn't mean that they won't be ready in the future. So it really is something that if it's worth doing, if you have the capacity to do something that actually nurtures the leads. It's really something that can be quite impactful if you do it right. So yeah, that's really something that I would recommend. So that's really summarized on how we can actually reduce the so-called fake leads or improve the lead quality of the responsiveness of the leads. Like we're hoping to get maybe 30 to 40% actionable leads from 100 that we get, right? But there are things that we need to do that. But of course, on top of that, there are many things that in the campaign itself can help you get better results with Facebook ads campaign. So if you're running lead gen ads, aside from, the fake leads that you're talking about, if you have some questions about how can I bring the cost per lead down, is there any way I can optimize my Facebook ads campaign to reach the right people or to overhaul the entire strategy for your business, I would actually recommend that you sign up for this gig of mine. So this is a gig where I would spend time analyzing a campaign together with you. And from there, we will find out what are the things that you are doing right or wrong and how can we optimize, is there any questions that we can add in to bring the bring the quality, lead quality up? Is there any process that we can optimize in between in order to increase the responsiveness of the leads and stuff like that? So yeah, so this is something that we can actually work together, especially for existing Facebook lead gen advertisers like you. So all you need to do is scan this QR code. It will take you to my Fiverr gig. All you need to do is buy me a dinner. Then you can actually schedule a 30 minutes one-on-one discussion with me on, how to take your campaign to the next level. Okay, now, so that's the first question. Thank you for the question. Now, the second question I get is coming from Zenis. So I was talking about the easiest way to optimize Facebook ads, but Zenis is asking how to do ads campaign for Shopee on Facebook. Now, I do have a Facebook ads for Shopee store course. You can actually go to Google Facebook ads for Shopee store, and look for something that comes from TripApp Academy, which is my company. But I have to say the course is quite dated. I think the last time I updated it was about like about 2 years or less ago, about 2 years. So you can imagine how dated is that. But having said that, I still believe the strategy is still valid, because the recent campaign that I set up with my client, because I do work with my client in terms of like coaching them to build their campaign and all that, and strategize and optimization, of course. So I would say 90 over percent of the entire mechanism still work. As long as, I mean, the framework works, the strategy still works the same and all that, and the tools and everything, they might have slight difference in terms of the user interface design and all that. But having said that, the whole system is still pretty much the same. So if you want to learn, the course is pretty straightforward and not expensive. You can actually just Google it and sign up and you can learn. But if you want to learn something that is more in latest, you can actually go for Facebook Ads Masterclass, because this is where I walk you through on everything like I mentioned just now in the earlier. But having said that, this is not specifically for Shopee. That's the thing. Yeah, but I would actually, but all you can do is, I think that online, I mean, the course Facebook Ads for Shopee store is relevant for you. I would recommend that you go for that. Yeah, and that's something suitable. But if you want to have something more straightforward, I do have one-on-one done with you program where I work with businesses in terms of strategizing the strategy for them, set up the campaign alongside with you. Like, I would actually work with you in terms of screen sharing and all that. We will set up the campaign together. So that actually helps you learn faster and more effectively, because we talk entirely only about your business. So that will give you a very, very high sense of, like relevance in terms of learning how to run ads on Facebook for your Shopee store. So that's something that you can actually reach out to me, and I would actually give you a link to apply for my one-on-one coaching program, and we can actually start from there. Otherwise, the online course is still relevant for you. Okay? So yeah, thanks for popping by, and all the best for your Facebook ads for Shopee. It's a very, very powerful place to run ads. I have a lot of clients that are really, and they really benefited from Facebook ads to grow their Shopee store. Like one of my clients, he literally grew his business in under 2 years from, like from a very, very raw startup to now he's making about like 6 figures, 7 figures monthly, like just by selling something very straightforward and simple, and it's really powerful. And he did mention that majority of the sales came from Facebook ads. It's really powerful. You should actually do that. Okay. Now, excuse me. Okay, the next one is coming from Andy. Now, Andy has a very lengthy one, but mainly Andy's question was really about, should you be using, Andy's situation is he actually had his business manager and ad account restricted. And then now he has his partner created a new business manager, and he's asking whether should he actually enter the business manager that his partner created as a per admin, or he should do something else. Now, in my opinion, actually, Andy, very straightforward. My first question is your profile permanently restricted? Is your profile permanently restricted? Because if it's just the business manager, if it's just the ad account, as long as your profile is not permanently restricted, everything is fine. But if your profile is permanently restricted, okay, you cannot join the business manager anyway. So you shouldn't. If that's the case, you shouldn't. So I would recommend that you start a new profile, brew it for 2 months at least by adding friends, joining groups, doing something and doing some postings and stuff like that. And 2 months later, join the business manager as an admin. That should actually set you to a safer path to get back into Facebook advertising. But if you have your profile not permanently restricted, you should be able to just go in. It shouldn't be a big deal, because for example, my profile manages multiple business manager and ad accounts, and some of my business manager were restricted and some of my ad accounts are restricted. It was created by me, restricted, but it doesn't affect me in terms of my ability to manage other business manager, other clients, other stuff like that. So yeah, the bottom line is you need to really understand whether are you permanently restricted. So if no, then by all means do that. If yes, then let's create a new one and start fresh. All right. But just in case, Andy, you know the drill, right? If you need, you have to have a quick discussion on really to look at whether are you permanently restricted or not, or is there anything that you want to really discuss and dive in together. Scan this QR code and buy me a dinner, then we can spend 30 minutes together to look into your situation, and I'll give you my personalized recommendation to help you get to the next step. Okay, right. Now that's all the questions that I received on my YouTube channel. And I have this question that I get asked a lot, so I was thinking to maybe just do a quick one. So what is the easiest way to scale Facebook ads? Now, if you ask me that question, my quick answer to you will be scale 20 to 30% each time and monitor for 3 to 7 days, preferably 7 days. And if everything is normal, as in the CTR and CPM, just keep going until you reach a ceiling. But it's actually not as straightforward. Now, what I wanted to bring to the table here is to help you understand, in fact, when it comes to scaling, when it comes to getting more results for your Facebook advertising campaign, scaling is not the only way. That's what I want to highlight. Now, what do I mean here? You see, when it comes to running ads, and if you are already running ads and you're already getting decent results that you're pretty comfortable and happy about, before you scale, my opinion is you should really find out why is your campaign working. You get what I mean? Because if you do not know what is the factor that is contributing to your success right now, scaling may just break everything. So the first thing I would recommend you to do is let's dive into the metrics and find out what's working. Is it a creative? Let's say if your CTR is flying like awesome, like 2% and above, 2 to 3% CTR link click, that means your creative is working. So if the creative is working, scaling is fine. But if the creative is not working, improving the CTR can in fact help you get better results without adding budget. You get what I mean? So let's say, for example, if your CTR is 0.3% and you're getting decent ROAS, decent results, decent cost per result, and you're making money out of it, just by increasing the CTR from 0.3% to 0.6%, by introducing and testing better creative and along the way, it can actually help you get double the clicks. And do you think that you can potentially get double the sales down the road? You might. But here's the little things that people don't really pay attention to. Instead, they just scale blindly just because they see money and they break everything. That's why, in my opinion, it's really important to understand, to actually crystallize the entire business journey for your business, as in like for your customers, to really find out what's working and what's not working. Because in my opinion, if you don't have an optimized campaign, scaling may actually put your money into the drain. So you really need to learn how to first optimize the campaign in the most effective way. So like, if let's say, for example, if you're running e-commerce, if you're already running ads and you're getting decent results, then we find out that, look, we have a very big drop off from landing page view to content view. Meaning people who land on your website, a very big percentage of them do not proceed to look at your products and stuff like that. So that actually gives us a very clear direction that, look, we should optimize the landing page to whether give better instruction to our audiences to take them to start taking actions on the website itself, or to give them a better bait to make them start doing something, or even to look at whether it's the audience targeting that is going wrong. Because if a lot of people come to your website but very little of them start buying, that means that these people actually may have the wrong intention when they come in from the ad. So that could be the ad that is actually doing the a bad job in terms of bringing the wrong people. So there's so many things that we can do, but being an advertiser that want to seriously grow your business with Facebook ads, you really need to master the technique of optimization. Then we can actually talk about scaling, because when it comes to scaling, instead of just horizontal scaling, meaning, okay, now what I usually do is vertical scaling, meaning if I'm able to, let's say, contain everything, the learning within the same ad set, I want to actually keep all the learning within it. Let's say, like, if now I'm doing good, if I'm spending $100 a day, I'll probably scale to 130 and give it 7 days to monitor your CTR, CPM, and everything. If it's stable, I scale further and further and further until I reach a ceiling. So let's say when I scaled up to $200 and it breaks. So the next thing that I can do is either we scale back and keep the campaign running, because what a lot of people do is like, oh, it stopped working, then I just turn it off. That's not the right way to do it. So when we scale to the maximum at the ceiling, the next thing is we start doing the horizontal scaling. We break the ad set. But most importantly, we do not kill the original ad set. And we don't do a lot of duplication just by simply because we want to do it or we believe it's the right thing to do. Actually, it may not be the true. So you really need to learn from optimization, and then only we talk about the scaling. And when it comes to scaling, there are actually quite a number of techniques that can be very powerful as well. So these are the things that I want to actually bring it to the table, so that if you're at the verge of scaling your campaign and you're not sure whether you're doing it right or wrong, I would actually recommend that we build a plan. So if that's something that you want to do, you can actually scan this QR code and it will take you to my Fiverr gig. All you need to do is to buy me a dinner. And what we can do is we can actually spend 30 minutes or more to dive into your Facebook ads campaign. From there, I will tell you what is working in your campaign and what is not. All right. And then we will identify the optimization opportunities and I'll build a plan. So these are the 3 to 5 things that we can do in order to take the campaign and hopefully take the campaign to the next level. I mean, these are all hypotheses that we build. At least you have a direction. You know what's working and what's not, and you have a plan to move forward. That's really an important thing. And that would actually help you understand your campaign better and to make you become a better Facebook advertiser. So if you're at the verge of doing it, before you scale, find out what's working and what's not working with your campaign and build an optimization plan first. Scan this QR code and I look forward to work with you. All right, so that's all the questions I get today. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, just feel free to scan the QR code here and there, whether to start learning or to talk to me. And remember, this is what I do every Sunday night. Just come back on the following week to talk to me. And if you have any questions, post it on my YouTube videos as a comment. So, thank you so much and have a good night. Have an awesome week ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye.